What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Taurean Reloaded channel. If you are new, please be sure to go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Make sure you have your notifications set to all, and also be sure to have your notifications turned on your mobile devices, as well as share this content on your various social media platforms, like, comment, and all of that good stuff. So today I wanted to come on here and talk about this brand new law that was put into place by the governor of Arizona, where they're labeling it as unconstitutional, and it definitely is, where basically a person cannot film on their phone an interaction that they deem to be unjustifiable or questionable detaining of someone, or maybe something questionable of a cop within 8 feet. So just imagine imagine you're in the close vicinity of a cop, and you just take 8 steps backwards. That's the distance between you and the cop you can take with you recording something. But you know, they're probably gonna find a loophole to put in there anyway. All this really is because the heat is on them right now, so they come up with all these laws that are unconstitutional, by the way, to give these cops even more protection to do and continue to do the dirt that they are doing. And I'm gonna echo something that some people I saw in the comment section of a particular page that I was tagged in to find this. Just zoom in. People act like the zoom in feature is not a thing. It might look a little distorted depending on where you're zooming in from or how far your zoom might be. It might look a little pixelated, but you might actually get something good out of it. Now, this is just a picture that was attached to the article, and under it, it just says this is an unidentified temp, and that's a city in Arizona. Police officer discharges pepper spray protesters who was following his orders to back up. The incident took place at the Chalk Walk protest outside Temp Marketplace on June 27, 2020. So that's where this picture came from. But now I'm going to go ahead and read the article itself that was posted July 8, 2022 on azmirror.com. Arizonians who are within 8 feet of a police officer while filming them can be thrown in jail for up to 30 days under a new law that Governor Doug Ducey signed this week. Whether it stays on the books will be up to the court, said a Phoenix attorney. It's blatantly unconstitutional, First Amendment attorney Dan Barr told the Arizona Mirror. There are already laws that prevent police from hindering police or interfering with police in their duties. Barr said he expects the bill to be struck down when it is challenged in court, either by someone outright challenging the law itself or by someone who has been prosecuted under the law who challenges it. The bill originally restricted filming within 15 feet of police officers, but its sponsor, Fountain Hills Republican Representative John Kavanaugh, who spent decades as a police officer for the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey, amended it to 8 feet to mirror a Supreme Court ruling regarding the distance protesters could be from abortion clinics. The new law allows officers to determine if a person is interfering with law enforcement activity when a person is recording inside an enclosed space, even if they are within the 8-foot limit. And the law expressly states that the law does not establish a right or authorize any person to make a video recording of law enforcement activity. So you can see right there, they already going against with their stance with this law. And it basically is right there. It says it allows the officer to determine if a person is interfering. So the person may not even be interfering, but if they determine that they are, then they can take action against them. And they may not even be they may be outside of the realm of that 8 feet perimeter that they have, and they'll still go after them if they feel they are interfering with them. That kind of reminds me of what Professor Black Truth was talking about in the Jalen Walker Moment of Truth he did, when he was talking about how in the article it was stating how the officers were saying how they felt he was about to turn, or felt something that they felt. It made no sense. Just like this one right here doesn't make any sense either. It's amazing how every time they come up with a law to defend and protect people like this, they always say if they feel like something's going to happen, then they can act on it just off of mere feeling, not on the action itself. The law defines law enforcement activity as questioning a suspicious person, conducting an arrest, issuing a summons, or enforcing the law, or handling an emotionally disturbed or disorderly person who was exhibiting abnormal behavior. The law does allow for occupants of a vehicle to record interactions with police and the subject of a law enforcement action to film their encounter, including being searched, having a field sobriety test taken, or being handcuffed. Kavanaugh said he initially got the idea to run the bill because he had seen stories of groups, and they put groups in quotes, of people going around filming police. That's that code speak right there. We know who they're talking about because what group of people in this establishment we live in has the biggest interaction with the police like that unjustly? Let me continue. He said the legislation didn't originate with any police union or advocacy group, though he later told ABC 15 the idea came from a Tucson cop. This has a chill on First Amendment rights on journalists to do their jobs, Barr said. It gives a weapon to the cops to tell journalists, turn off your cameras. And it's crazy because these are the same cops that should have their body cameras on. But we know in this day and age, even if they have them on, they can still find a way to get them off. Filming of police has played an integral role in helping journalists and researchers learn the breadth of how law enforcement use cover charges to justify the use of excessive force. The term is often used by defense attorneys to describe the charges used by police to cover up bad behavior or explain why the use of excessive force. In Chicago, it was found that 2 out of every 3 times the Chicago Police Department used force since 2004, they arrested the person on one of these types of charges. And a 2021 ProPublica investigation found in Jefferson Parish, Louisiana, 70% of the time someone was arrested on a quote-unquote cover charge alone, they were black. Surprise, surprise. When the legislature and the governor passed such laws, I wish they were liable for the attorney fees that were spent to strike down such laws. Unfortunately, those fees come out of the taxpayers' pockets every single time. Barr suggested that those who plan to protest or film police should continue to do so, but make sure to heed the warning of officers. The new law states officers have to give a verbal warning to people in violation of the 8-foot rule. Watch how many of them go against that. Watch how many go against that. After all, they try to remove the Miranda rights. I don't know what the status is on that, but I know that was an idea that came up. Listen, this is just nothing but another law that was put into place to give even more invincibilities to these race soldiers. The fact that part that I read in there about the cover charges and 73% of them being black in the Jefferson Parish in Louisiana basically says it all of who this thing is targeting the most. Because like I said, what group of people is getting targeted the most by these race soldiers unjustly? And when a lot of this stuff gets caught on camera, it's usually black people that are facing the brunt force of it all. That's all it is. And they feel like people recording them is infringing on their space. Well, guess what? If you weren't doing what you were doing and you were doing what you were supposed to do, no one would record you. But see, the thing is, the law enforcement in this establishment is under such a heavy microscope nowadays that they really can't escape it. And see, they probably wish they were in the time when they didn't have smartphones or phones that had cameras on them where you could record these interactions. And how do you think a lot of these cops back in the day got away with so much? Because there wasn't smartphones out back then. But when people started using smartphones, and then you got the internet and you got video sharing sites like YouTube or even Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, Vimeo, where people can see stuff, where stuff can go viral, or TikTok and stuff like that. It's like once it's out there, and it's all connected to the internet. And I said once it's out on the internet, it's out there forever. Even if it's put on the internet and only left up online for about 30 seconds, that's 30 seconds too long. Who knows who has seen it by that time? Screenshots is a thing. Downloading video clips is a thing. So that's what it is. They're just trying to protect themselves from their own wrongdoing and misdeeds. That's really all it is at the end of the day. And if they can get another person arrested and thrown in jail for a period of time, that's killing 2 birds with 1 stone for them. So that's really all this is. And it's a very barbaric law. And I'm not surprised that it happened in Arizona. And I wouldn't be surprised if it was a right-leaning individual who came up with that bill. But that's all I have to say about this. Also, if I have any subscribers that live in Arizona, can you let me know what you think about this law in particular? Have you heard of this law? And what is your take on it, considering that this is in your state? And I wouldn't be surprised if any other state tries to pick this up, because I always tell you, when it comes to something like this, it's usually always a domino effect.